You're watching USA News Hub, your home for breaking headlines, trending sports stories, and exclusive updates from across the nation. Everyone in that room felt it. The silence, the tension. And then Alex de Minaur leaned into the microphone and said 9 words that made the entire tennis world stop. "I know exactly what that loss says about me. No one expected what came next." Alex de Minaur has always been known as the demon on the court. Fast feet, relentless hustle, a fighter who refuses to go away quietly. But what happened after his crushing ATP Finals loss became something far bigger than a match result. It became a moment that showed the world who he truly is. And in the days that followed, as his post-match press conference went viral across social media, Alex finally decided to reflect, openly, honestly, and with a vulnerability we rarely see in modern sports. This is that story. The room that went silent. Reporters in Turin expected the usual cliches. "I'll learn from this. I'll move on. It wasn't my best day." But that's not what they got. Alex sat down, still in his match kit, sweat barely dried, face serious, eyes heavy. You could almost feel the weight of the moment pressing on his shoulders. For a few seconds, he said nothing. The cameras clicked. Reporters waited, and then he spoke. "I'm not going to lie," he began. "This one hurts. And I know everyone saw it." That single sentence was clipped, posted, and within minutes, millions of views. But it was what he said after that made the world pay attention. "People think I crack under pressure. Maybe they're right." No top player willingly admits that. But Alex said it not in defeat, but in honesty. "I heard what the commentators said," he continued. "I heard the fans debating whether I belong at this level. I know what people think about my serve, about my game, about my weight, about me never being big enough for the top 5. You could feel the room shift. This wasn't a prepared PR speech. It wasn't polished. It wasn't calculated. It was raw emotion spilling over after months of criticism. And somehow, instead of sounding defeated, Alex sounded like a man ready to fight back. Social media erupted, TikTok clips of his emotional pause. Twitter threads defending him. Former pros applauding his honesty. Fans calling him the most real player left on tour. Alex de Minaur, long overlooked, often underestimated, had unexpectedly become the emotional heartbeat of the ATP Finals. But privately, Alex had been dealing with far more than the public realized, as he later reflected. "When you hear people say you don't belong, it starts to echo in your head. I pretend it doesn't affect me, but it does." That confession, shared several days later, became even bigger than the original press conference. Because it revealed a truth many fans suspected for months. Alex wasn't just fighting opponents. He was fighting expectations. He was fighting doubt. He was fighting himself. Why this loss hit different? Alex de Minaur had worked tirelessly to reach the ATP Finals, a place only the 8 best players in the world stand. Not lucky qualifiers. Not underdogs. The elite. But he was reminded, constantly, by critics, he's overachieving. He's a fluke. He doesn't have a big enough game. He'll never beat the very top guys. It's the kind of chatter that can destroy a young athlete. But instead of breaking, Alex explained how this loss forced him to ask himself the hardest question: do I want to stay where I am, or do I want to become someone no one expects? He didn't hesitate. "I know which one I choose." The confession he almost didn't make. A journalist asked what changed in him this year. Alex's eyes softened, his voice lowered, and he said something that stopped everyone cold. "I'm tired of being the guy who almost wins. I'm tired of being the fighter whom people love but never expect to lift a trophy at the biggest events. I don't want respect. I want fear." That line blew up online. Fans called it chilling, movie script level, and the most honest line of the year in tennis. And he wasn't done. "I know I'm not as strong as some guys. I know I don't hit 140 on the serve. But I have something they don't: heart. And when I learn to combine that with aggression, it's over for them." This wasn't cocky. It wasn't arrogant. It was conviction. A shift. A spark. A declaration of war on his own limitations. The viral moment that defined him. As he wrapped up the press conference, a reporter asked, "What will you tell your younger self after today's loss?" Alex looked down for a second. Then he smiled. "I'd tell him, don't worry. They'll doubt you your whole life. Until they can't anymore." Millions of fans shared that clip. Motivational pages reposted it with dramatic music. Tennis fans wrote paragraphs about how inspiring it felt. Even athletes from other sports retweeted it with captions like, "This is what a future champion sounds like." But the real turning point happened days later, when Alex finally reflected on the full impact of that viral moment. Alex looks back. "I didn't plan any of that." In a long-form interview, Alex explained why he spoke so openly. "I wasn't trying to go viral," he said. "I wasn't trying to make headlines. I just didn't want to pretend. People deserve the real version of me." He admitted he was shocked by the reaction. "Honestly, I thought people would clown me. Instead, they listened." He said he received messages from teenagers, young athletes, parents, even military veterans, telling him his honesty helped them face their own internal battles. And for Alex, that meant more than any ranking. "Wins fade," he said. "Trophies collect dust. But making someone feel less alone? That lasts." Critics saw weakness. Fans saw strength. But Alex, he saw a turning point. He said the loss taught him something essential. You can't be afraid to fail if you want to become someone extraordinary. He said it with a calmness that sounded like someone who'd finally shed something heavy. And then he added the line that shook his fanbase yet again, "I've played my last match as the old Alex. The new one is coming." You could almost hear the tennis world swallow hard. Because when a player with Alex's work ethic decides to level up, the rest of the tour better pay attention. Alex ended his reflection with a message not to his fans, but to the people who never believed in him. He looked directly at the camera and said, "Thank you. You made me tougher. You made me hungry. You made me who I am. And soon, I'll give you something new to talk about." The clip went viral instantly. Millions of views. Thousands of comments. Fans calling him the new dark horse of 2026. And for the first time in his career, Alex de Minaur wasn't being underestimated, he was being anticipated. Alex de Minaur didn't just lose a match. He unlocked a mindset. And sometimes, that's exactly how champions are born. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story that's shaping America and the world. We'll see you in the next update.